Hi! Oh, look at all those people. Good evening. My name is Seymour Butts. Anybody remember that from the 70s and 80s? On the back of people's cars, back windows of people's cars? Do you? Well, Todd Bradshaw, gifted musician, I think, and jack of many trades, although they call him Todd, is first. Hello, Jack. Good evening, all. Brenda Noyce right behind him. Ted Richards. Howdy, all. And Karen Phillips is here. Hi. Ted Richards as well. All our regulars. Georgia Peach is here. Hello, everyone. Hi there. Pam Donnelly. Hi, Jack. Hello, Nonstick Pam. I think I have one of your pictures on my phone. Christari, hello, and hello. How you feeling, Christari? How you feeling? Miles Wright, hi, Jack and all. Teresa Williams. I know all these names. Don't see a Vicky yet. Not my fault. I don't control some things. There's a number of things I don't control. Storming here. James Storming from Dark Shadows. It's James Storm. He's looking for money to go visit some Indian tribe and take pictures of where they are from. He has a GoFundMe page. You never know what I'm going to say. So it's our some of our regulars. And there's 22 that I know of and 4 likes. There's this guy I tell you about, Clinton Jaws, who always says, hit the like button. It's all I care about. Well, it's not all I care about because I'm not as big as Clinton Jaws, you know. He does pretty good on the views and has some interesting videos you might enjoy. Clinton Jaws. Tess is here. And Nancy DeMarco. Hi, Jack and family. Welcome, Nancy. How are you? Have you ever been to Belvedere, New Jersey, Nancy? Carmen Sylvia is from New Zealand. We know that. She has a YouTube channel here, and that's very good. We had a little rain, I guess the remnants of what happened in other places over the weekend, but it didn't last long. And it's a good thing because there's a spot in the roof that's not doing so good. But, you know, sometime this year we'll get it fixed. This guy next door knows somebody be a little cheaper. You just got to wait, 5 years for him, that kind of thing. I would love if Karen and I lived in a place where we were under zero control, zero, whatever you want to call it, from outside sources. That's what retirement should be. I'll tell you, it's warm in the studio tonight, which is a refreshing change than freezing. I almost thought about bringing the fan in to circulate a little air. Oh, my pictures are kind of crooked. Oh, I'm covering up Team Trump there. Yeah. Oh, well, my head is big. It'll cover up something. Joanna Nitzy is here. Hi, Jack. Joanne. Where you from again? Jackie Taylor, who was commenting in our promo video, which I should have put up much sooner. Jackie Taylor. Hello, brother. Jack. This is Jackie the farmer. That's right. Reminding me, not that you couldn't be a female farmer, from Mississippi. Cat 4, 20 miles from me. As we talk in real time, that's the situation. A cat four? I thought it was tornado season. Cat 4 usually refers to hurricanes, doesn't it? Tell me all about it, Jackie Taylor. And what have you done? Have you boarded up the windows or anything? Good job on the studio setup, Jack. You're very creative coming up with all the layouts and themselves. Well, what do we have here tonight? See, up top we have the delightful, lovely Emily Blunt, who now lives in Brooklyn, New York, with her actor husband. You can see them together in the Quiet Place movies, for example. They don't do much talking because the aliens will hear them, but she's got kids and she lives in Brooklyn. She says, she likes it. The late great Rush Limbaugh under that great picture of Al Rushbo. Then we have soldier Elvis Presley, with to his right would be who we think is Willina. Others will say, that's Sigrid Schutz. It's not even Schultz, you dummy. Whatever. Underneath that, we have Mr. and Mrs. Reed. This is their bedroom we're in right now. Karen's parents. This was their bedroom for many years. And Mr. Reed does visit me from time to time. If he's not scratching me, he's telling me, get the something out. I can't remember what the other word is. Then there's two pictures of Karen. The bottom picture has the actress who played on Dark Shadows in the later times. She was a vampire, and I know her name like I know my own, but any moment now I'll come up with it. Roxanne was the character that she played. She was at the Tarrytown Dark Shadows Festival this past October when we saw her. Almost can get the name. It's not like I don't know it. On the other side, besides the Tunnel to Towers bag, is Nancy Barrett, Carolyn Stoddard from Dark Shadows, and of course, Elvis Presley in the pink Cadillac. I have the throw to that very image, but you can never see the car because it's down way low when I put that throw up when we're doing a heavy Elvis chat. So, so there you are, 25 watching. Of course, I put up the promo late, and fortunately, I didn't have to be opposite Scott Baio, because Scott Baio was live with his Take on Life. Usually it's a pre-recorded show, but he decided to do a live. And that was on at 8 o'clock tonight, so it's available for replay. He didn't say in the heading what he was going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about those drones. I'll do a separate video on this, but just, a little bit now. What about those drones? Just before I came over to the studio, Karen was upstairs and she said, there's a drone outside. So I went out and Karen came downstairs and went out. And sure enough, there was a large drone that was going directly over our house and headed towards the southern end of town. And it would be that same drone that would come back. And blue colors, red colors, white colors. And then another one appeared. And this was all red. Also looked like a drone. I'm not saying a round saucer or anything like that. Kind of looked like a drone, and that came over once. So I'm wondering if anybody else has experienced the return of the drones. Carmen says UFOs. Well, technically they are, because I don't know what they are. And it's just weird that the whole subject seems to have been dropped. In fact, that kind of makes me weary to do a video even talking about it. Maybe I'll be told to not do that. I don't know. Right after President Trump was inaugurated, Um, President Trump said Tuesday that the drone sightings over New Jersey late last year were either authorized by the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, or were from hobbyists and enthusiasts. White House Secretary Caroline Leavitt read a statement from Trump at her first press briefing that the FAA had flown drones in the area for research purposes. Full disclosure here, right? Many of these drones were also hobbyists and recreational and private individuals that enjoy flying drones, she said. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. The drone phenomenon had captured attention of the American public in late November and December as sightings skyrocketed in the state and elsewhere in the country. It's not just New Jersey. Primarily along the East Coast, they were seen in Belgium. They were seen over Belgium and other foreign countries. The drones were also reported near sensitive military sites, raising concerns about national security. Of course, if it's us surveying the sites, it's okay. Lawmakers and public officials began questioning whether a foreign adversary was involved or if the Biden administration was holding back information. Well, the government holds back information all the time. The Biden administration officials had insisted that the drones were not from foreign adversaries and said the FBI has identified only a small number of leads from thousands of reported sightings. Oh, it's so comforting having somebody like Biden as your president. Thank God we're delivered from that. Many of the drones were lawfully operated or mistaken for planes and other aerial objects. This just feels so unsatisfying. The Biden administration did say there could be improvements to identify and counter any drone threats. That's worth about as much as nothing. Nothing. Um, So that all kind of calmed down. And it was just interesting that tonight, it can't be coincidental that right here in the Hudson Valley, over where I'm broadcasting from, there were two major, the more expensive kind of what I perceive to be as drones. What I perceive to be as drones. Um, and obviously, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's amazing how quiet, I mean, there was such of a focus on politics, the Trump derangement syndrome crowd going wild and in a deep depression, not knowing what to do and only making things worse for themselves. And um, then, of course, the MAGA people celebrating, and then the appointments that needed to be made and what have you. It was just a wonderful time to be an American again. If you're conservative and had the ability to see what had happened to America under 4 years of Joseph R. Biden, just disgusting, disgusting. This was an E-4 last Saturday. It was very bad. You had asked me about our weather. I messed up. We had four neighbors passed away. We had four neighbors who passed away. Oh, that's terrible, Jackie. I'm very sorry about that. Um, and you stayed for the hurricane or tornado? How much notice did you have that it was coming? Standeman. Standeman, hello from Kentucky. Well, hi. We hear from Kentucky quite a lot. What's going on where you are? Tell us about your city or town or village. Neo is here. Hey, Neo Neon. Welcome, welcome. Well, Chattanooga is not far from Woodstock at all. What about an hour and a half? What? About an hour and a half? I got to read it right, right? Yeah. Have you taken the Chattanooga Choo Choo? Sandra Fair is here. Hello, everyone. Nice to be with all of you again. Nice to have you here, Sandra. How's life for you? I have a drone, says Grand Poobah. Todd Bradshaw, I have a drone. I do not fly it that much anymore due to the media these days. Out here in the sticks, it might not come back with the Bumpsy family across the way. The Bumpsy, the Bumpus family across the way. Is this like the Darlings versus who did the Darlings fight all the time? It's been a while. Remember the Darling family from the Andy Griffith show with the gentleman who would go on to be on the Daisy Dukes show there with John Snyder, and the orange car was really the biggest star on that show. But that's the same actor who played that. Uh, he played the role of Mr. Darling, and of course, I know his name, Denver Pyle. Oh, thank God! Once in a while, I get it. Denver Pyle was in both the Dukes of Hazzard. It's all coming back to me now. And of course, he played the head of the Darling family on the Andy Griffith show. March Madness, huh? Well, let's get crazy. Let's go nuts. It could be good for ratings, you know, within reason, of course. Hi, Angelo. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Gail George joins us as well. She's all in purple tonight. Hello, everyone. Hello, come to you. That's a mix of hello and welcome. Like the family with the dogs in the Christmas Story movie. Todd really likes the old movies, and his favorite, like yours truly, one of my all-time favorites is It's a Wonderful Life with an amazing cast. James Stewart led the cast. Been watching your e-videos, first live chat. Well, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings. Yeah, we have quite a few now, right? We're going towards 380, and we've got over 9,900 subscribers. We grow at a very slow pace here, but it keeps growing, just like my video, The Verdict, has 230,000 now. So for me, that's good. You know, that's really good. But it's been this is a quiet time in the Bob Joyce story. My main competitor, well, he has cancer and he's undergoing treatment, so pray for Matt. Um, he has slowed down in every way. You know, if you burn out a topic, um, you're hurting yourself. Really, you gotta pace it. Um, he was a few months ago, he had less subscribers to me than I knew he was going to overtake me. Everything pointed to it. He was putting up a couple of videos a day and getting some big hits and what have you. But eventually, you know, it's I don't want to say it's like the boy who cried wolf too many times and then really didn't deliver, but you know, um, it's like there are certain species that eat their young. You know, they eat their young. So if you put up other people's work, put your name on it. If you put up, now the thing is to just put up excerpts of Pastor Bob Joyce's sermons. Uh, I say when there's a newsworthy event in there, I will put up an excerpt from a Bob Joyce sermon because I'm telling a story. I'm telling a chronological story about Pastor Bob Joyce. So if it's relevant in that regard, then it's a fair use excerpt. Anything else that goes on and on is count yourself fortunate that you are are doing it, and not being challenged. That's how that goes. And yeah, this is like a friendship club. I remember a romper room. Gracious, haven't heard that in a long time. That's what Karen has told me. I sound sometimes like the introduction to Romper Room. I see Toddy and Carmen. I see Tess and Christari. That's a strange name, Christari. I see Bren and I see Tedward and I see Gail. Hi, Gail. What are we going to do today, boys and girls, huh? How about some fun stuff with Clay? But Clay isn't here, so we can't do fun stuff with him. Where are you, Clay? We do have a Clay, don't we? Who is that Christian artist I used to play on Sound of Life? Clay. Well, it's been so long since I played his music. We had at least one Clay. I think we had one Clay in the 90s. That's when I was playing contemporary Christian music. It was in the 90s. So please subscribe and like while you're here. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when we pop on to pop off or put up a new pre-recorded video. There's a thanks button there. I'd appreciate it if you'd hit it for any amount. Any amount is welcome as we try to make our March goal. Rita, lovely Rita Maid is here. Hi, Jack. I see you. See, I can't see you. I can't see you. You could be, all my comments I'm editing out myself. I'm a self-editor, Faith Lloyd, and sometimes that's a good thing. Hi, Jack and everybody. I'm just a little late. Well, don't worry. I have a line for that too. Edit again. I'm an editing machine. But welcome, Faith Lloyd. It was Brad downstairs last week said to Karen, "Can I leave?" I don't know if I told the full story. Can I leave the light on because I'm just going to go to Lloyd's. I need some clothes, and Lloyd's had everything under one roof. And he said it twice that he was going to Lloyd's, And Karen said the right thing and said, "Well, if you were paying for the utilities, would you leave the light on?" Oh, this is why nobody wants to give you utilities included anymore, It's a bad choice. They'll screw you over. But if they're paying for the utilities, they'll turn the damn light off. You know what I'm saying? So he said he was going to Lloyd's. And so I asked him just yesterday, I said, how was Lloyd's? It said, "Oh, yeah, I just had to go, get some pants." And I said, "Well, I wish you would have taken me because obviously you have access to the ability to go back in time." I said parallel universe at first, but you must have a time machine. Your car, I know, is a hybrid, but I didn't know it was a time machine because Lloyd's closed 45 years ago. And finally, he realized he went to Walmart. Oh, dear. Just the beginning, I'm afraid. Just the beginning of that story, Stammen. Lots of interesting POVs. I'm just glad we are out of 2024. Was the second worst year of my life, huh? It certainly was depressing. Wasn't a bad year for me in general, I suppose, except there are things in my life that are, there are things that I have to deal with that are painful. But POVs, I'm trying to think of what POVs are. I can't think of it at the moment. Dungeons and Dragons, Christari is talking about. I heard it was satanic and was afraid of playing it. I think you made a good choice, Christari, not to play it. But actually, it literally is a fun playing game. Nah, I don't know. My tech guy, Andy, played it. Had friends over and they played it, but I never did. I've never really done any kind of game playing really, except the eyes wide shut kind. I'm just joking. Somebody will get that joke, and it'll probably be Todd Bradshaw. My money's on Todd. Originally from Chicago area, 50 years, Bozeman, Montana, 25 years now. And I can do the math. After my husband passed away, sorry to hear that, Lake Dallas, Texas for almost 4 years. Lake Dallas, Texas. I only thought they had water in Galveston, oh, Galveston. Well, if you're going to be in Texas, be near a lake because it's, oh boy, does it get hot in the summer, right? Am I right? Am I right? Point of view. Thank you, Pam Donley. Non-stick Pam. Thank you. So, tell me, do magic mirror. Tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play? Is that what they said on Romper Room? Is that what they said, Tess? That much I don't remember. I don't even remember too much about Captain Kangaroo, which I did watch. But there was Bunny Rabbit and Mr. Moose, and of course, Mr. Green Jeans. Mr. Green Jeans. So I'm glad you see me, lovely Rita, Rita Maid. January 1st, our oldest daughter was in a... That's just beyond horrific. Our oldest daughter was in a fatal car accident and lost 6 friends throughout the rest of the year. Last one was on Valentine's Day. How old was your daughter, Standa Man? How old was she? Georgia P says, Jack, Mr. Green Jeans was the worst. 31. Terrible. I'm so sorry. Nobody knows the depth of your pain except people that have experienced the same thing. I got you, Christari. Yeah, I don't do any gaming. My description of gaming is time suck. Time suck. If we had an hourglass, a huge hourglass with the sand coming down, and we'd already see there's a lot of sand on the bottom, and we'd see how much sand is left on the top. Karen loves her games on the computer and what have you, and endless scrolling, and it's just the way it is, It's just the way it is. I have to beg her when we're in the car for her not to have her phone on, that this is our time, Can we do something that doesn't involve any kind of a screen? YouTube is a wonderful tool here. It's a wonderful entertainment. Watching a movie, nothing wrong with it. Playing some games, nothing wrong with that. But when it becomes a thing you do constantly, why go to the Grand Canyon when you can Google it? Well, I don't care about the Grand Canyon, to be honest. But, I don't know. I would like to see Italy, but that probably won't happen. I'd like to see London. That probably won't happen. and other points of Europe certainly as well. The Dancing Bear wasn't that the Gong Show? Well, that was Mean Gene, the Dancing Machine. So they couldn't have had 2 dancers, so scratch that. The Dancing Bear, I do remember, I just don't know where I remember it from. If it was Romper Room, my memory is motorcycles are so dangerous, Stan Man. Every year here in the Hudson Valley of New York, we have this parade of motorcycle deaths. Every spring, at a certain point, I say, well, how many people are going to get on a motorcycle and die this year? I've known people, known people that went to my church, a husband and a wife, all professional riders that wiped out going down for a little 2-day vacation in Lake George, New York, had kids with grandma, one of them very clingy to mom, the littlest one. Mommy never coming back, daddy never coming back, you know? Um, it's just a terrible thing. You have to understand the XYZers are out there. Doesn't matter a damn. Doesn't I guess the word for today is damn. Don't worry, I'll never put God's name in front of it. Um, doesn't matter how much experience you have. XYZ is just in a hurry to get somewhere, and they'll get you from behind. They'll get you from behind. They're right on the shoulder to get around you, whatever they have to do. But every year, and it's already happening, there'll be these terrible, disgusting accidents. It's not safe to ride a motorcycle in 2025. A really bad pothole can take you out. There are too many bad drivers, and now they're smoking pot as they do it. Pot is legal in New York. If you're smart, you put the motorcycle away. You find some place, somebody's private property where they got acres of land, and you ride there, but don't ride on the highways. That's my best advice, and no one who loves motorcycles will take it. Nobody. I don't ride in helicopters. I don't ride in single engine planes. I don't bungee jump. Um, and I don't spit in the face of the old Lone Ranger. And you don't mess around with Jim. You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger. You don't spit into the wind. All right, I've got it all backwards now. But you remember the Jim Croce song, don't you, Ted Richards? Just watch for the woodchuck holes. The woodchuck holes. It's not just watch. That's just one way you can die a horrible death, Ted. That's one of like 100 ways a motorcyclist can die a horrible death. A deer coming out at you. That's right. But I guarantee, watch those kids on the road that are smoking pot. They're driving their BMWs that they haven't earned, and I don't know. I don't know. I know standing man people that love that will never stop it. Hockey 92, 92.7 FM to be exact. Good evening, Jack and all. I hope everyone is good. Well, we are. Thank you. Some of us are speaking of tragedies, though. That's a great song by the Bee Gees, Tragedy. But I'm glad you're here. So I'm left sitting on the dock of the bay, says Tess, sitting in a half renovated MH. Here we go with the abbreviations again, and no way to do anything about it. Praying every day for Jesus to lead me to the answer. Hmm. Rita says, my oldest son and his wife have a motorcycle. I get so worried when they drink and drink and ride. I can understand how you feel, Rita, about that. I'd be a nervous wreck myself. He says nothing you can do though. There's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter how many happen in the town or what have you. You know, There was a really cool, I met this young cop, good looking with a beautiful wife. They hadn't even started having children yet, up well, about 4 towns over, 4 towns over. And he had a motorcycle for his personal use, and he was just going down Route 52, and some 18-year-old dimwit pulled out in front of him, and he slammed into it, and that was it for him. His life was over. His life was over. You have to be so prepared, but as prepared as you are when they're coming up behind you, there's only so much you can do. And that's how it is with a car. I mean, I swear there are people, if if they're driving down a two-lane each direction has 2 lanes, and they see a car coming, out of that lane and coming directly for them, they'll say, "Well, look at that. Look at that. He could hit me head on." No, you do everything in your power to make sure that doesn't happen. You say, "Where can I go? I got a couple of seconds here to make a decision. How can I avoid being hit on by this person who could be just having a medical emergency? You don't know. How can I avoid being hit by that person? I'm going to give it all I got. I'm not just going to look and say, well, look at that. Look at that. No, 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 no. I'm getting riled up now, and I'm feeling so sad for the people that have had these tremendous losses. Who's an excellent singer? Jim Croce? Excellent singer. I never thought of him as an excellent singer. I thought of him as a man capable of producing a great pop song, who worked a long time to make his dreams come true. And all of a sudden, you don't mess around with Slim Jim came out, and that he was ready for that moment because he followed it, of course, with Operator. Oh, won't you help me place this call? Before you know it, we were into Time in a Bottle, which is like his classic song, I think. His classic song. And Bad, Bad, Leroy Brown. Can you play that on the piano, Todd? Dun da 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 dun. Joyce Baker, where is Elvis? Today, that is an interesting question. Maybe we know where he is Sunday, but we don't know where he is Wednesday. Wednesday is Sunday at Carvel. Now, are you saying that in a sarcastic way, or are you wanting? I don't have a. They can put those GPS things on people's cars and stuff, and you can follow them. You can look on your phone and see exactly where they are, or you can put these cameras, and you can access those cameras. Of course, you know this at any time. So I'm not sure. We speak of possibilities as to whether he is even alive. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. Not much to say about it. The story right now. How many stories can there be something every week, 52 weeks of the year? God knows there's been times when there was a glut, and I have a feeling that those times are not over. Love the Carpenters, Christari, and if you love the Carpenters, you will love Harriet. She goes by one name. Check her out, probably right here at YouTube, Spotify. She goes by the name Harriet. It's like Karen Carpenter uh, incarnated. Occasionally, she sings Carpenter songs and puts them up because everybody wants her to. But she likes to do other songs, and she does an incredible version of Trying to Get the Feeling Again. She changes the words. I guess she got permission. And she changes the words and makes it even more meaningful than how Barry sung it, Barry Manilow, who has residency now at Radio City Music Hall. He'll begin a bunch of dates there in April, and he'll be reoccurring at Radio City Music Hall like he has been in Vegas. We all just miss Elvis. Well, have you been to Benton, Arkansas? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Ricky Nelson, freebasing coke or something in a plane, small plane. The oven blew up, and, well, the rest is very sad history. Jack, I had run my car onto the grass because two ashes racing. You mean they had been involved in a fire, these ashes, and they were floating through the air, and then they decided, let's have a race before we don't exist anymore. Yes, I understand. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, they can scare your the bejesus out of you. I never really knew what the bejesus was. She's just listing her favorite groups here, and I like all of them. I like all of them. Um, well, you do know what this channel is about, right, Joyce? You probably haven't seen any of my videos, and you don't have to agree with any of it. Um, but I'll tell you, the Captain and Tennille did some great songs, and I wouldn't put Muskrat Love at the top, Chris Dory, but it's good. It's cute. Do I want to hear it 20 years later, 30 years later, like love, love will keep us together? I want to hear that forever. Mr. Neil Sedaka, he still looks good. He still looks good. He often travels with his grandkids and stuff, and he does a lot of cool things still. And he was in Amsterdam just a few days ago. Neil Sedaka was in Amsterdam as a tourist. I don't know if they know his music there that much, but piano time is still on the way, Jack. Well, okay. If you ever send me something that is not copywritten, or if you copyrighted it, I don't think you'd object if you obviously send it to me with permission. Then we could play it in a pre-recorded video. I cannot do it live. That won't work. I got everything hooked back up today. Massive undertaking, moving all that stuff. I underestimated that task. 50 miles of wire. You should have had Andy come over and help you. He's good with stuff like that. Yeah. Red Bear. But you'd have to come here and physically meet him and put him at ease, or he'd never go in a million years. And still, I don't know if he would go to your humble abode, because he's I shouldn't be talking about him. Anyway, Georgia Peach, you won't believe this. I don't. My first husband, well, you said I wouldn't. My first husband and I bought a piece of property developed. Oh, here goes the abbreviations again. MH, I'm supposed to know what that is. Park, put 12 MH homes. Is that the abbreviation for the name of the type of home? Rented all out, also for retirement. But we later divorced. He passed in 2012. And the last thing he said was, as Martin Sheen said in the movie The Little Girl Down the Lane, when a very young Jodie Foster handed him the tea, the last thing Martin Sheen said in that movie was, "This tea tastes like almonds." After that, he just began coughing a lot. And Jodie Foster said, "Must be the almond cookies." I guess maybe the last line he said was, "Oh, yeah, right." The things that come to my mind. Japanese music. Well, I hear Chinese music when we go to the Flaming Grill. Everything from rap to very soft, lovely ballads. Sometimes, Brenda, you have to come for with a Dakota ring. And I don't mean a Dakota Fanning ring. Oops, I did it again. I've got more lyrics that I made up, but I will not share them here. Ooh, baby, baby, oops, I did it again. I'm crazier than a bedbug, baby. I'm just that insane, Sadly, Tommy Rowe, she's talking all of them now because she's a little dizzy. Her head is a spinning. Yeah, that makes me think of his other song, which I also have words to, which I will not sing here. Oh, little Sheila, you know I wanna. Somebody can get the next line that I put in there. I know you can. We're having a buffet, Todd. Really? Will we have some good Southern eating in this buffet? Rah 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 at the buffet. Well, if it's a buffet and we've got music too, I'm in. I'm in, buddy. Let's do that. Those what's those Shoney's? They're not as popular. Are they still around, Shoney's? I mean, they used to have a breakfast buffet that was like legendary. And it was okay, scrambled eggs were good, sausage. Those silver dollar pancakes were always cold by the time you got to them. No way to heat the syrup up. But it was still pretty good. And they had grits. Grits is kind of like cream of wheat, but without the sugar. But I remember being there with my first wife and kids going to Shoney's when we were going to and coming back from Florida, maybe to Disney World. And here I am during that time with the legendary Jessica Rabbit. I've shown this before. Um, I'm sure that it hadn't been too long at that point since I had breakfast at Shoney's because we always drove to Florida. They got rid of the free suckers. You mean the progressives? No, what are you saying? When Shoney's got rid of the free suckers, that ended them. Free suckers. Did they give you a lollipop or something? I don't know. I don't remember that, but the kids would remember it, and I wouldn't because I probably didn't take one. I'll take Cracker Barrel for breakfast. Do you have them where you are? Do we have one in Poughkeepsie? I think we do have one in Poughkeepsie. I was up there to see Jamie Lissau a few months in December, we were, and I might have passed a Cracker Barrel. That's where it would be. We don't have one here, but still haven't gone down 3 miles to see how Chick-fil-A is coming along. Did they tear down Boston Market or didn't they? I still don't know. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Regina Terwilliger joins us. She's saying goodnight to Brenda. God bless you, Brenda, if you're really leaving. And Barbara Kendall is here as well. Hi, BK. That stands for Burger King, but today was not a Burger King day for us. No. Every 4 or 5 months we get a craving for McDonald's, and it was just unacceptable not to do it today. So Karen and I slipped away while Andy was over with the neighbors working for them, doing some work. And I had a Big Mac meal. In fact, I still got the orange high C. Right, Chip? Right, Chip? I'll sip right now. Ever since COVID, they don't put the sweet tea out anymore. You can still get it. Then I guess hand it to them if you want a refill. But they used to have it right out there. And they have the ketchup spout, but they haven't used that in years. And it's still there. And finally, they start putting out ketchup packets. So the guy didn't have to walk all the way back and get the ketchup packets for you when he brought your tray. You have a number, your table's your number 17, and that kind of thing. I love Shoney's strawberry pie and hot fudge cake. So you went for lunch and dinner. We never did, Senator Fair. But yeah, it's like those desserts can pull people in. They really can. Like when we went Saturday night to the polka show with Sean and Norma up in Belvedere, Texas, they had no desserts. Where's my chocolate cream pie? Where's my carrot cake, my homemade that somebody made there? But they didn't make it. They had it catered. So, had a little kielbasa, very good. And obviously the pierogies. Georgia Peach also a fan. So Vicky, where are you? You're not showing up here. I don't know how to tell you how to get on the chat here. But Vicky was saying It didn't show up. I did not edit anything out there. My grandfather and I used to drive 65 miles to Charlotte, North Carolina. Been there. Lived right next door for 18 months or so to buy those pies. She would buy several and freeze them. Yeah, I used to do that. Well, not freeze them, but we would buy a whole pie at Denny's. They had the peanut butter pie at Denny's. Oh yes, chocolate, I guess too, right? Chocolate and peanut butter pie at um, at Denny's. That reminds me, I think I got a few of my peanut butter power bars downstairs, and I keep forgetting about them. They're called an Incredible Bar or something. You buy 10 of them. So I got to look for that. I wonder if somebody ripped me off and took them because they said he's forgotten all about them. They are yummy with a hot cup of British blend tea. That'll be my snack when we get off tonight, if I can find them. But Karen bought Marie Callender's multi-berry pie, whatever it's called. Marie Callender's makes a great pie. They used to make great peach cobbler. What happened to that? I can't believe it didn't sell. We had a Shakey's pizza in Memphis years ago. We had a Shakey's pizza. Well, I've never heard of a Shakey's pizza. Maybe it was just an earthquake going on as you had your pizza. Test J, it makes me sad and mad that I have no family that can stay sane long enough to help. Yeah, we all know those people where all you have to do is look in their eyes and you say, I don't think I want to go to sleep with them around, you know? Oh my God, Hockey 92. Look at that. Look at that. Is that our early birthday gift? You always surprise me, Hockey 92, and that may be your biggest ever. On the thanks button, $49.99. Thank you so much for hitting the thanks button. Any amount, whether it be $1, $2, $5, $10, is welcome. Thank you, Hockey. And the other way is the Cash App, especially for higher amounts. If you have been so blessed and have been watching us for a while, you know, lowercase letters. If you have Cash App loaded on your phone or want to go to the App Store and load it, you have to use your checking account for this one. And you can use it for a number of things like I do. I've given money to my son. I've given money to my ex-wife. But that's lowercase letters. My handle is lowercase letters Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56, Media Guy 56. Thank you, Hockey 92. You're a real blessing to me. It helps in a time when we're fighting to get to a certain level this month. You know, it's been going downhill, and it's hard to get the views right now because the Bob Joyce story is kind of quiet. I've noticed this for everybody, and but it'll pick up. It'll pick up. It just has a way of doing that. Thank you, Hockey 92. You'll see the thanks button right there at the bottom. If you don't see it here, hello replay crowd, go to another recent video and you'll find the thanks button there. It's a tip jar is what it is. It's a tip jar. And I'll thank you the next time I'm live. I always try to do that a number of times. Jack, Dad Gum, I don't have a thanks button again. I don't know what to say about that, Georgia Peach. I don't. Maybe someone here would know why that could be. You know, are you on a tablet? What are you on? That kind of thing. But when it comes to the tech end, you know, I don't have any idea. And it's okay. It's okay. I remember Shakey's delicious stuff. So Todd, why have I never even heard about Shakey's, huh? I'm just in the wrong part of the country. I mean, I've heard of shaken steak, shaken steak, but I haven't heard of Shakey's. Never seen the sign, never seen it. Angelo makes me hungry. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Start talking about food as we have in the past, and people start sharing what their favorite things are. And I went down to Florida a couple of days ago. Florida, New York, that is, home of the Polka King, Jimmy Sturr, who we'll see up in Wilkes-Barre at the Mohegan Sun Casino. Sean and Norma are driving us there. You know, they're very kind to us. They're driving us there to see a polka show with the Polka family and 18-time Grammy winner Jimmy Sturr headlining. And they're going to tape it for the Service Electric Television Network. So you can find Service Electric if you do a search. And so we'll be there 4 or 5. Putting Karen into a casino is kind of like putting Jeffrey Epstein to head a Girl Scout troop. Anyway, Georgia, I found the thanks button. Oh my God! Oh, thank goodness. After the show on Sunday. Oh, I see. I gotta finish my sentences. I'll do that tonight. It's almost your birthday. Almost. Oh boy. That'll be Friday. I will pop on and I'll show you whatever cake. Karen is making the cake this year. And I'm trying to tell her here on Wednesday night, it's not going to be easy to find the pineapple filling. Comstock, I guess, stopped making it, and that's who usually is in the grocery stores around here. Lucky Leaf has it, but they want, online something like $20 a can. And we'll probably end up going to a few grocery stores only to discover nobody has pineapple filling anymore. Just like the diner doesn't have the pineapple filling, the pineapple topping for the cheesecake. And it's not the same cheesecake anymore either. If there's a legendary cheesecake, you want to make sure when you buy a diner, you get that recipe and use that recipe. You make that part of your deal. So, I used to sing with different bands and honky tonks. Do you have any video? Send it to me at Jack the Fair Guy, Fair, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I've known many female singers that sing in honky tonks and other places, like Lorianne Savaglio. Find her music on, I was going to say on Panera Bread. No, on the P thing. What was it called? On that one. Although I did a couple of torch songs at some of the better lounges. Oh, I like a good torch song. Yes. What's some of your favorite torch songs, Tess? Happy Birthday, Jack, by all. Jack, funeral in the morning. Okay, Brenda, good night to you. Hope you continue to feel better if you are, and I hope you are. Jack, I made my own cheesecake. Yes, I'll have some of that. My dad gave me the recipe, and I can put it in whatever I want to put in cheesecake, and they are delicious. How about amaretto? Amaretto, Barbara Kendall. Oh, yes. The school kids used to sell. This was kids that were at least up in middle school or what have you. They would sell cheesecakes sometimes, you know. They didn't have them with them. Yet they took the orders, and eventually they came in and got an amaretto cheesecake. I love amaretto, but I don't like the amaretto drink. Don't like the amaretto drink, but amaretto in a cookie, amaretto in anything from fudge to whatever. At the excuse me, at the Oktoberfest down at Bear Mountain Park, which I hear is not going to be held anymore, and I'm very disappointed about it because we went to one that was very well attended with Jimmy Sturr, with Sean and Norma, and this guy was selling amaretto pound cake. The cake wasn't as moist as I was hoping it would be, but I love that taste of amaretto. Thanks for the chat. Got to go to work at 6 a.m. I remember when I had to schedule, I never did 6 a.m. Well, yes, I did. I filled in various radio station morning shows from time to time. That was pure hell. Especially, the hardest part was getting there. Once you get on the air, you're fine, and you're trying to do your best in morning drive. God bless you. Thank you. Come back. And please hit the subscribe and like button if you haven't already. God bless you all. God bless you. So Karen will get the cherry topped cheesecake or the blueberry topping cheesecake. She likes that. This is something we get very rarely, but from time to time, like every once in a while, you got to have that Big Mac. And as we were pulling up at McDonald's about 5 o'clock this afternoon, the sign said fish fillets, 2 for $7. So we knew we were going to get a fish fillet, 2 fish fillet, and then apple pies. They're not as good as they used to be when they fried them, and there was more apple in them. But such is life. For a while, KFC had those fried apple pies. I don't know that they still do. Maybe Popeyes as well. So we have 40 watching right now. If you haven't signed in, please do. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. If you like anything at all or have liked in the past, you want to hit the thanks button for a few bucks right here, I'd appreciate it very much. Trying to make our budget. That makes life a lot less stressful. Thank you, Todd Bradshaw. I got to come up with a title that's better than a Grand Poobah for you. I was hoping maybe you had something. You want me to call you Cardinal Todd? Bishop Todd? Let's see here. Todd, you are so funny. You've already sent me a birthday gift, Todd. You are too much. Todd Bradshaw, hit the Cash App, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Todd Bradshaw, hit the Cash App for $20 for Pineapple Filling Fund. That's what it probably could cost, I don't know. It's like when things become scarce. Yet over at the DeFilippi's Bakery here, which if you were ever around, Todd, I'd take you to DeFilippi's. I'd take you to Summerfest if you were here on July 20th. We got a double shot that weekend. Yeah, that's the Dark Shadows thing too at Lyndhurst. But on the 20th will be Summerfest, and they supposedly have a pretty good rock and country band as well. But $20 for a pineapple filling. We're going to go on a search tomorrow before we go to Mr. Washy Washy Laundry. Mr. Washy Washy Laundry. So again, thank you so much, Todd, for hitting the Cash App button. I really appreciate it. Now, Pam, let's see. Let me look at the photos on my phone. I usually stay away from doing photos in a live stream because it can be, you just never know. It's 50-50. Almost all the time when I do them in a pre-recorded video, they're fine. And if they're not, you never see them. But I do get a little concerned here as I get older and I look on the garage roof 2 doors down, and staring me down are 2 vultures. Ladies and gentlemen, this is scary for me. I mean, in fact, there's been a lot of vultures around here. Are they anticipating? Is it a matter of anticipation is making me crazy? And it's not a far journey for me to be crazy all of a sudden. The vultures are here, ladies and gentlemen. Not just the blackbirds this time, but the vultures. Some of them are very big. Hmm. Ah. Oh yes. Someone was asking me about our dinner, our corned beef and cabbage, assuming that we had it, and you were right, we did. And here it is, Karen's dinner with some soda bread from Price Chopper, much better than the ShopRite soda bread. But that was very, very delicious Monday. Cabbage and carrots and corned beef and the soda bread. Thank you, Karen. She did a wonderful job on that. Huh. Okay. Thought I had something else, but I don't see it on my phone. Tess is writing in orange now. You like the Grand Poobah? You like that one? Yeah, that's what I've been calling him, the Grand Poobah. Thus says the Raven, nevermore. Todd really likes those old movies. What did you say before that, though, Todd? You would love to come someday. Well, please do, Todd. Please do. We have a number of cool events in the summertime around here. I think you would like to go to Summerfest. I can't get Richard Lyon here. You think he'd want to get out of West Palm Beach, Florida? It's 100 degrees, but I can't get him here, him and Vivian Lee Lyon. And Shake's Pizza is in the Philippines, really? Well, I don't think the people here have gone to the Philippines. I might have a half brother in the Philippines. I was always told that his name could be the same as mine. Um, that when my father was stationed there, um, he might have, during his free time as a soldier, I think he was. I'm not really sure. I gotta do this DNA test thing. That was a Christmas present. We keep saying we're going to do it. Got to do it. Carmen is giving her recipe now. That's cool. Ginger biscuits, huh? Do they burn your tongue, the ginger? Pound cake. Well, pound cake or crake. Ted, Sara Lee all butter pound cake is pretty good. It also works good as a bottom layer for your strawberry shortcake. It's getting hard to find the frozen strawberries anymore, though, and that's the only way you get the good juice. Sure, you put some fresh strawberries in there too, but you got to have that juice. And everyone that says, "Oh, I can make the juice," they don't make the juice good. I want it lathered in juice. Cappuccino, cappuccino. All of a sudden, I feel like doing a Al Pacino impersonation. Never had coffee, so I've definitely never had the stronger version of thereof. I'll stick with cheesecake too, Ted Richards, and I'll have my British blend hot Tetley tea with it. I will. Yes, love amaretto myself. My favorite is Someone to Watch Over Me. Yeah, how's that going? Who did that song, Test J? Who did Someone to Watch Over Me? I'm so sorry, Jack, says Christari. I have no idea what. Um, 39 watching right now. That means we've turned off somebody. Oh, you talking about double entendres test to Grand Poobah Bradshaw, huh? I see. I see. I like a good double entendre myself. Sara Lee or Pepperidge Farm pound cake? Let me see. Pepperidge Farm pound cake. It's not ringing a bell, but hey, what about those apple turnovers? They used to have raisins in them, remember? They used to have raisins, Ted Richards. And they took the raisins out because somebody somewhere was allergic to raisins and couldn't enjoy a Pepperidge Farm turnover. I guarantee you, you know. Oh, little Jimmy's got this allergy and that allergy. What the heck is going on here? We got 20 some year olds dying of colon cancer. Secretary Kennedy is looking into all this. So, just to talk about another conspiracy, they released a lot of the JFK files. President Trump directed that. And I don't know. So far, it doesn't look like there's too much, that they weren't even talking about it when I listened to Fox today. The National Archives on Tuesday released thousands of pages of declassified records related to the assassination of JFK in '63. The records were posted to the National Archives website, joining recently released records posted in 23, 22, 21, 2017, 2018. Most of what the government released tonight is not new. In fact, much of it has attracted attention on social media and in news reports, have been long public domain except for minor redactions. So I don't see any big part here. I'm not going to keep reading this, but if there is a major thing, are they mentioning the people think LBJ had something to do with it? People think George Bush Sr. as a CIA agent was involved in altering the bullet wounds in the plane while Johnson was being sworn in as president in the front of the plane. There's a thing on Tubi about that. The dark side of George Bush Sr. I'm just reporting what there is available. So, and of course, let's not forget J. Edgar Hoover and those who feel he had something to do with all that. Let's see how that's doing. Yes. I just looked at, I have not made any money there, that's for sure. Here we are, our sign that we're live right now. Yeah, the views are down, so it is that even more appreciated when people hit the thanks button or the Cash App. I really appreciate that because that kind of compensates. I'm trying to get those big views. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a crowded field out there. I was hoping that my video on the Lincoln Project in a tizzy did better than it is doing. I'm still trying to promote that. But the people that follow that are so angry. These people are so angry and what have you. They just, they all have Trump derangement syndrome. Is Katina here? Hello, Katina Swatsworth. Oh, yes. In our, I'm going to go right to it, Katina. In the last, 15 minutes of our show last time, someone talked about the flat earth, and then other people said, I believe in the flat earth. I believe in the flat earth. Katina was a flat earther pronouncer. So now, Katina, I guess I have noticed that people that believe in the flat earth may also believe that there's a dome over the earth. And the whole NASA thing, every single thing they ever did, including what just happened, is all fake. And we've never been to the moon. That's nonsense. That was in New Mexico. And they have, things they cite and what have you. And so I guess planes can only go a certain height. They're not going as high as they say they are because then they'd hit the dome. And On NBC, they did a show called The Dome with that the big guy, the big director. What's his name? You know, that guy. Not the guy who did The Godfather, not that one. And not the guy um, who did that film with Anthony Hopkins, almost drove Anthony Hopkins crazy with all the takes he wanted. The Italian guy, or was he Jewish? I can't remember. So I'm just throwing that out there, and you don't have to respond. The firmament. Yeah. Is the firmament another word for the dome, Todd? And does that negate any possibility of NASA being anything but fake? I'm just asking questions. I come to no conclusions here, and I don't freak out by what people believe. You know, now if you don't believe in Jesus, I'll probably take you on a little bit, but I'm just curious as to what people believe. The heavens, okay, but is there a dome over the earth? And did we not go to the moon? Was the International Space Station up there? Oh, there's so many things to talk about concerning that topic. How can we let NASA off the hook when they let astronauts go up in space, if you believe that they did, and get stuck up there for 8 months and have no way of going down? We have to turn to Elon Musk to get them down. Are you freaking kidding me? And they're supposed to just say, "Oh, well, we knew this was part of the job," and they were wonderful about it. But I'm sorry. And then we're going to drop 4 more people off up there, knowing that we've just stranded people for 8 months. And what are they doing? What are they collecting the whole time they're up there? What's the big headlines from the International Space Station? Because I haven't heard any. And that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that I haven't read it. But they're certainly not leading with it in the news, if you know what I mean. So what do you think, Todd? In the end of any subject, when we get to heaven, our eyes are going to be open to many things we were lied about. I'm convinced we'll all be surprised. Well, there's no doubt we'll be surprised in heaven. I just hope that God doesn't say, my name is Allah, go on, get. That won't happen. Yes, Jack, several hour conversations, believe me. I understand you want to keep your cards close to the vest because you don't want to be labeled. I understand. I got it. Believe me, I went feet first into that subject. I had the toys. Yeah, you got some cool toys. I want to come down and see your toys then. And the NASA t-shirts. Well, look who's here. Next to the Grand Poobah is the Grand Patriarch himself, Richard Lyon. I thought he was long asleep wearing those pajamas with the feet in them. I don't believe in the dome over the earth, but believe your eyes if you allow them see. Okay, Richard, you always give me something to think about. But believe your eyes if you allow them see. Or no, I'm not doing the right emphasis. If you allow them see, I don't know. I had an outer body experience. Those always interest me, Carmen. When I almost died, the earth was round. Okay. See, the fact that I have a GED plays into me not being able to give you very good of an argument here. Because even though I had Mr. Miller in 7th grade science class, he was a wonderful man. I saw him before he passed away with his son at an art show. That was with the next door neighbors were putting on. They had their paintings there, or the one guy. And so Mr. Miller was a wonderful science teacher, but, I can't remember a thing he said. Oh, no, I'm not ashamed of what I believe in. I just cannot do it justice here. I understand. All I would say is listen to both sides. Do your own research and make a conclusion. Everything is a choice. I guess I get to the feeling. I get the feeling now, Todd. And some of it is just pure laziness, I'm sure. But other part of it is, well, I can't do the topic as well as somebody else would do it that can roll in video on top of video, and he can only do so much. And so I have to be thinking about the channel a lot, and I have to be thinking about my spiritual walk a lot, and I have to watch Dark Shadows reruns. You understand that part, I know, Todd. I mean, I'm only on the fourth time. It's not like I've seen it 20 times. Here I am, almost 69. I accidentally deleted my comment. I believe there is a firmament. Okay. People are not using dome, they're using firmament, which I think may be the same thing, but I'm not even sure. So you were sick, Richard? Was off today, maybe tomorrow too. Well, yeah, you got that sick time built up, right? What's your problem there? Do you have the bronchitis or something like that? Don't give it to Vivian Lee. Well, I guess you can't give bronchitis to someone. That's one good thing about bronchitis. I think I'm right about that, but even that, I'm not 100% sure. I don't believe in a dome. I read that. Genesis 1:6 verse 1. Genesis chapter 1 verses 6 through 8 talks about the firmament. I know I've read it, yeah, but I need more than that. I need your explanation of what the firmament is. Go out on a limb for me, Katina, and the waves. Same here. I had an uncle that worked for Lockheed Martin. It's all very interesting, is all I can say about that point. Okay. Yeah, inside information, but you can't. I have a GED, just like me, huh, Jack? I have a GED, but I have Einstein in common sense. It's like Ron White, the comedian, says, I don't even have a high school diploma. I'm smart, but you can't prove it on paper. You got to get. He said, you got to get. There's several Ron White quotes that stick with me forever. I won't say one of them here, even though there's no cussing. I won't say one of them here, even though there's no cussing in it. It would be controversial when people would say, that's not true. I'm not. We're all a little bit gay, he says, and he goes on to explain that. Oh, I've never had a thought, never had a thought for a same-sex person in my life. In my life. They won't say before God, because they know what's a road too far. I've never had a thought for a person the same sex as me in my life. And Ron White explains an amusing story to go with that. I know Richard Lyons say, I never did. Little respiratory and cold with aches, no fever. Well, that's good. So you take the zinc, you take the vitamin C, and what's that thing I want to say? Well, it has the same drugs in it, basically. The word firmament refers to the vault of expanse of the sky, often conceived as a solid surface in biblical context. It's the space God revealed to separate the waters above from the waters below. Thank you, Christari. You seem to be better tonight. I'm noticing a difference. You haven't said once tonight that you were married to Charles Manson. Nancy DeMarco, I know many people who I meant it as a compliment that I see an improvement. I see healing. Probably didn't sound like that. I apologize if it didn't. Nancy DeMarco, I know many people who asked pilots if there was a curvature of the earth is flat. Everyone that was asked said it was flat. I know many people who asked Pilate. See, I have to know about these people. You can see the curvature of the Earth was there in an eclipse, right? Hmm. Georgia Peach hits the thanks button. There she goes for $20. Thank you, Georgia Peach. Thanks for being you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you, Georgia. I appreciate that so much. Katina says, I'll tell you where I started. Look up in scripture where God created all the planets by name. Todd Bradshaw, the firmament is the waters above the waters. This is now going past my 7th grade education, everybody. That is why the sky is blue. It's a barrier from the realm of God and his creation, below whom separated from right now, and his creation below whom separated from right now. Ted apparently doesn't agree about having those thoughts. Okay, I knew I'd find somebody. I knew I'd get somebody. Tedward. It's Tedward. I'm not going to tell you how Ron White explained it. It's in one of his comedy specials. It might be the one that it might be the you can't fix stupid special, but I'm not sure. That statement is pure BS about having those thoughts. If you are straight, you just don't think that way, and I am glad. Okay, Ted. Thank you for saying your opinion. Richard Lyon, again, draw a line, go up to, now it's getting like math, and it's from Richard Lyon. My goodness, the Grand Patriarch. Again, like I'm going to do this. Draw a line, go to the end now, get back to where you started without turning around. The earth is round. There's a reason I have a 2nd grade math level. Todd Bradshaw, the good news is God is right above us, not 96 million miles away. Okay, that's interesting. I am interested in that. The earth is his footstool. So far, Ted, you're the only one that went balls to the wall in denying that statement. I love you, Ted. Not that way. Not that way. Nobody likes women more than I do. Believe me, it's screwed up my whole life loving women the way I do. Because it's like I love women like I like pizza. That's not the right way to love women. That's not God's way. The earth is his footstool, Katina says. That's never thought of it that way, in that literal sense, but I love it. I love it. The good news is God is right above us, okay? So Todd, then he can clearly see the children at Shriners Hospital. He can see them at St. Jude's. He can see these little souls that are dying of cancer. More and more in the St. Jude spots, they seem to be featuring the kids that aren't going to survive, I noticed. And why would he not be moved to compassion to heal the innocent little children? When I was in Eastern religion back in the 70s, I guess, I had an answer. Oh, they're paying a karmic debt for a past life. I don't got that no more. So what do I say now? I'm asking in a respectful way. I am. Ted Richards, you are making me think of what the rest of his joke, the way you said this, and I can't say it here. There are women present, and I find it. It's just not proper how he brought someone to an understanding. Who was this guy? I can't do it. I totally disagree with Ron White. How old are you, Ted? I forget if you've ever told me. If you don't want to tell me, don't tell me. But please don't see this as a challenge to your sexuality. I'm just putting something out there. I'm putting something out there. Happy 29th birthday, Jack. I remember when I turned 29. Before I turned 30, I got a keychain, Robin Roman, that said 29 and holding. And I had that keychain for like 12 years on my key ring. I did. Then it was just finally time I felt I had to give it up. Thank you. I remember 29 because I got married at age 29 to the mother of my children. Yeah. And she was 21. Was I the cougar there? I don't know. No, Lady Gaga, I wasn't born that way, says Tess. Tess, you've got to be from England because you're just Tessie, and all those English ladies are named Tessie. I don't know I don't know how Lady Gaga swings. I think we could have had a better example that I would have known right away. I don't know much about Lady Gaga. I know she's not much about Lady Gaga. I know she's not a Trumper. She wouldn't like my politics. I know that much. She's a tremendous talent. I'll say that much. Tremendous talent. Sandra says the earth can't be too flat because there's a lot of dirt between us and Australia, LOL. News to me. This just goes to show you that I definitely have a GED. Well, when Jesus gets here, if I am blessed to meet him, I'll ask him round or flat. Oh, you'll just be too overwhelmed by his magnificent presence and what have you. Ted will be 57 next month. I mean, if this were a all male chat, I'd go a few places, but I don't feel it's right. I understand the conversation, no problem. Todd says to Richard Lyon, this is the Grand Poobah speaking to the Grand Patriarch, draw that line and go there yourself by journey. I like that. You cannot without being stopped by military action. It's the one thing all the countries signed on to an agreement, which is rare. You can't go to Roswell either. You can't get in there. They'll stop you. They would have even stopped Art Bell. And to me, that's treasonous. What is that? Roswell, New America now? I haven't checked lately. Roswell, New America? Albuquerque, New America? Got married to my first husband at 17. 17, yeah. And you're putting a first emphasis. Would you mind telling us, lovely Rita Maid, how long your marriage lasted, your first marriage? I've told mine, 17, 7, and I've been with Karen now. We're in year 15. The depths of the oceans considered, we cannot be flat. The depths of the oceans considered, we cannot be flat. Thank you, Ted. My name is actually Tammy. Oh, Tammy, 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 my love. I know that's not the lyric, but I can't remember it. Were you a Tammy Wynette fan? Were your parents a Tammy Wynette fan? Or was it really Tammy Baker they loved? Do you ever wear makeup like Tammy Faye Baker used to wear? My name is actually Tammy, but I am of Scottish and English descent. So, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, I like Tess better. And if they did, you still can't get back unless you turn around. What about topics like on Dark Shadows, Todd Bradshaw? Parallel universes. I'd love to do a video about parallel universes. I just have to have an expert on, I'd love to have an interview and maybe show some footage of something on time travel. Those are things that interest me. When William Shatner on The Unexplained, anybody watch that? what a talent he is at 93 years old, doesn't look 93. Can you be that age and not look like you're about to fall over? Yeah, you can. Have you seen Dick Van Dyke? However, William Daniels, who was on a bunch of stuff, including St. Elsewhere, he's what I think he might be 97, and he looks every bit of it. He looks every bit of it. Sorry, William Daniels, if you happen to be watching. What was that very popular sitcom that William Daniels was in? I think he played the school principal, if I remember well. I remember you. Who did that song? Who did it, Tess? I have the cottonwoods whispering above. Tammy, Tammy, Tammy in love. Todd Bradshaw. Jack, you're losing it. You're due for a checkup from the neck up. I am loving that show. I give you credit for that. I am learning. I am curious because I want to know more about these topics. Boy Meets World, is that what it was, Neo? You remember William Daniels? It wasn't McDaniels, right? It's Daniels, right? Neon? Because neonecrophilia just doesn't work for me. I can't do that one. Boy Meets World. Did you watch that a lot? I saw some clips, and of course, I saw Mr. Daniels, right? William Daniels and other things, and he was great. He was absolutely great. 10 kids, you poor girl. Who had 10 kids? 10 kids. What are you, the Osmonds? For goodness sakes. You must be from Utah. Richard Lyon hasn't got 10 kids. Todd, always open for discussion. Tell me a verse or two in the Bible where it said round or flat. Well, he kind of did it in a different way. And the same with Katina and the Waves. Tammy in Hebrew means date or palm tree. Well, I don't like dates unless it's a date with a woman, Ted. I'm talking about a woman. I don't like dates and I don't like figs. So I'll go with palm tree because the moment I see a palm tree when I'm headed south, I'm happy. I'm happy, man. Especially if it's January, February, March. Though he was also Eartha Kitt, the original Catwoman on the 68 Batman show. I can't say that Eartha Kitt was my favorite Catwoman. It wasn't Lee Merriweather, was it? Was it Lee Merriweather from Barnaby Jones? Who was the other one before Lee Merriweather? I think there was another one. Mr. Feeney was the character of William Daniels. He's still alive, 97. And I don't know if you had the pleasure of seeing him, Neon in St. Elsewhere. He was the big boss doctor there, He said in one episode, he said to the character that I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't know if he ever did anything else after. I think his name was something like Denzel Washington. He said to him, well, you may be a big movie star someday, but you're not now. So, yeah, you can clean a bedpan if the nurse is busy. That would have been funny. Knight Rider. He was he the voice of the car? Chris Starry? That could be, right? That sounds right to me, but I could be wrong or I could be crazy. George Michaels also did a very nice rendition of I Remember You. Yes, I remember being on WVOS-FM, naughty as I could be sometimes because I knew that the bosses were listening to the other station on the floor, WSUL. So if I were to play a George Michael song, this is before, yes, you just got it, Nancy. Julie Newmar. She dripped sensuality. I'm not supposed to lust, and you created Julie Newmar. Oh dear, she was the definitive Catwoman for me. Although I'm sure that Halle Berry was an excellent Catwoman, but that's not the movie we all remember Halle Berry from, is it? The one with Billy Bob Thornton, right? That's the one we remember. Holly Berry. You should have never seen that movie. You dirty people, you. Okay. Um, so he was the car, was he? In Knight Rider? That sounds right. I've forgotten all about that. And I told the story of some other actor from St. Elsewhere. Maybe somebody didn't hear it because I love this story. Approaching one of his castmates and saying, "Hey, I'm going to do Battle of the Network Stars over on ABC. They're allowing NBC shows, so why don't you do it with me?" And the actor said, "Well, I won't do that because movie stars don't do Battle of the Network Stars." He said, "But yeah, but you're not a movie star." And Denzel Washington looked him in the eye and said, "But I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be." Even then, he knew, Richard Lamb. "Well, Todd, I don't fly. You don't fly at all, and I don't take the word of a pilot." Well, you'd want to talk to the pilot, you know. Um, and I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. He was the voice of the car. Cool. My grandmother tried to kidnap back. What? Maybe there's a first part to this I missed. There is a lot, says Katina. Not I licked. Unintended blooper, Katina. I must be back thinking of Julie Newmar again. Sorry. There is a lot. I looked into it over a year. My family thought I was getting into a cult. Yes, it was only a matter of time, Katina, before they thought you would be wearing an orange robe handing out pamphlets at the airport. when I uh, when I would find when I would find flat Earth proof, I would show my husband and son. My son is a flat earther. I take it hubby is not. Man wrote the Bible, but let's put it this way, Carmen. If it wasn't inspired by the Holy Spirit, if he didn't inspire the man to move the whatever kind of pen they had back then, then you're right. It would just be the work of men. Just like if Christ is not risen, our hope is in vain. Well, look at you, Chris Starry. I'm so happy to see you very cognitively alert. That was not necessary. Praise God for that. Praise God for that. I'm really happy. You were kind of a mess on Saturday night, to be honest. And now you are recalling things that better than me. And that's just wonderful. We ask for a complete healing from the top of our heads to the soles of someone's feet. We have to believe in it. We have to believe for it on an ongoing basis. So you have reminded me of that in a wonderful way. You're saying William Daniels was in St. Elmo's fire? Well, I hope he survived with only minor burns. Let's see. Let me back up a little bit. Thank you for the Julie Newmar, Nancy DeMarco. She was my favorite cat woman, but it was probably just not because of the acting. I was married at 16. We got some Southern women here. I'm just joking. My mom signed me away to be rid of me. Seriously. Huh. So you were in love with your husband. And this happens a lot, you know. I was not the love of my first wife. I know that. I know who was. Fortunately, he passed away. Kit from Knight Rider. Kit from Knight Rider. Kit was the name of the car, right? I only watched every once in a while. So we have Tess and Rita were married at 16, and not either one of them was married to Jerry Lee Lewis, and that is almost unfathomable. Elvis liked young females. Huh. Some like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, right? Which Batman? Who was Batman? Was it Michael Keaton and with Michelle Pfeiffer, Neo? Yeah, she was terrific. You're right, but I wouldn't put her up with Julie Newmar. Um, and I think that Holly Berry just was the victim of a bad script because she's a wonderful actress. Too many prophecies revealed for it not to be real, whether man wrote or not. Well, man obviously wrote, but it has to be under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit to make it a God thing. Maybe Linda Carter. I'll get there eventually. Linda Carter played Catwoman. um, my favorite Batman was the one nobody wanted or nobody would say. And you know which one I mean, don't you? Neon. Michelle Pfeiffer was awesome as Catwoman. Yeah, I do remember. And I wasn't a big fan. Like, I didn't see any of the George Clooney Batmans. I didn't. What was there? One, two, three? I don't know. Richard Lyons seen Bionic Woman in person in '70s in Disney in California when I was there, very young. She was very pretty, even as a young boy. Well, I don't think Lindsay Wagner was ever a young boy and then she transed or something. I don't think that, Richard. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. There will be more debates in the future. We can't agree on everything. I used to love those old shows, Knight Rider, Street Hawk, never saw that. I watched Blue Thunder the other night. That's the Tom Cruise movie, right? Or am I thinking of another Thunder for him? They could not make that stuff these days in the same fashion. I just don't like when they use a lot of CGI. You know, back in the old days, they couldn't use CGI. So I love those old movies. I mean, for goodness sakes, Ernest Borgnine had to be covered by a couple hundred rats in the movie Willard in the '70s. There was no way around it. He had nightmares after that movie. Nightmares, I tell you, Richard Lyon. I was a young boy, Jack. I know what you meant, Richard. Watch how you use that other name, only in a reverent way. This is what worries me about Catholics sometimes, you know. You must be born again, or you cannot see or enter the kingdom of heaven. And, you know, I'm not saying this is some sanctified saint that always makes the right choices. No, no, no. I'm just saying that I know Catholics that I knew right away they were born again, like my doctor, and I've known Catholics that don't show any sign of holiness in them at all, no sign of reverence at all, but they go to mass. That's another can of worms, Neo. Days of Thunder was the Tom Cruise movie. Blue Thunder was a helicopter show and movie. Huh. Okay. I never saw that. Ben, the two of us, something or other. I can't remember. Yes, Ben was the follow up to Willard. Did Bruce Davidson do Ben? I think he did, right? I'm a big Bruce Davidson fan. He worked with Christy McNichol in Summer of My German Soldier. Eartha Kitt, the first Catwoman on the late 1960s series Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward. What was the name of the butler? Or Albert, not Albert. Whatever his name was. Can't remember the actor's name. I meet Lou I met Lou and Bill Bixby in '81. Well, that's wonderful because I was a huge Bill Bixby. Here we go. I was a huge Bill Bixby fan. Saw most of what he did. Ever saw Steam Bath? Anybody ever seen Steam Bath with Bill Bixby? I think it might have been on PBS. Alfred, thank you, Pam Donnelly. No stick, Pam. Martin Luther left the Catholic Church because he realized by grace we are saved, not by works. Yeah, well, there's a lot of Protestants that mix that up too. Because if we're going to be really honest, there are scriptures that you could argue it both ways. You could argue it both ways. That's a very difficult point of doctrine that I have no desire to try to prove my point to anyone. I got to focus at this point on being a better man and making better choices every day, kind of thing. Um, you know, I'm amazed by the views that someone like Mike Winger, who's basically an internet pastor, he talks on a topic and he gets, you know, 682,000 views. There's a lot of people that want to argue doctrine back and forth, various points of scripture. If you bring five theologians into a room, you might get five different points of view, especially if it's something like hell and what hell really is and all that. Um, so I don't feel any leading to do that. But Mike Winger, what I was trying to say is a lot of people have read the Bible backwards and forwards. And Mike is not in the category of what I'm saying now, but when you speak to them, you don't feel any sense of the Holy Spirit, the compassion of the Holy Spirit, or the realization of the Holy Spirit in their life. In fact, many of them that read it backwards and forwards will tell you the gifts of the Holy Spirit ended when the last apostle died. So there you go. Then there's all the abuse of the gifts in the Pentecostal church. Oh, dear. And I mean, I'm sorry to say XYZ couldn't care about any of this stuff. I'm talking about a segment of the XYZ crowd. So that's a problem. That's a problem. How do you reach them? Yes, keep praying for Christari. It's about time for the midnight donut run, Todd. I know what you're saying. I can't believe how fast the time goes. And you don't look like you eat a lot of donuts, Todd. In fact, today at McDonald's, for the first time in my life, they said, "Would you like to add a Krispy Kreme Boston cream donut?" And I thought about it for half a second, said, "Oh, no, thank you, but I'm glad you have them." I don't know why I said that. Krispy Kreme is not really one of my favorites, but well, good night, Katina. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope I didn't offend you in any way, shape, or form. And I got to go. I'm tired. I'll watch the replay tomorrow. See, she is so loyal. God bless you and good night. Good night to you. Michael Jackson. What a crappy father he had, huh? What a crappy father. So, yes, Christaria is dealing with brain metastases and have passed that I can travel many places, including that it can travel, including the pancreas. You don't want that. So there you go. 48, still watching. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm not even going to think about hitting 10,000 subscribers. I'd like to, but when it happens, if it's the Lord's will, fine. But we creep along, and we're past 9,900, and that feels very, very good to me. 9,900. So hit the like button. More people apparently can see us if you hit the like button, or the subscribe, subscribe to like and the notification bell. If you can hit the thanks button that you see down there for any amount, that would be very much appreciated too. Good night, Gail George. Thank you very, very much for stopping by. Thank you. First Peter chapter 4, beginning with verse 1. Therefore, since Christ suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves also with the same mind. For he who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh for the lust of men, but for the will of God. For we have spent enough of our past lifetime in doing the will of the Gentiles when he walked in lewdness, lust, drunkenness, revelries, drinking parties, and abominable idolatries. In regard to these, they think it strange that you do not run with them in the same flood of disputation, speaking evil of you. Disputation. They will give an account to him who is ready to judge the living and the dead. For this reason, the gospel was preached also to those who are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the Spirit. From First Peter chapter 4. Yes, everybody keep praying for Christari. Pray for Deborah Lake. Didn't see her here today. Pray for Deborah. Pray for those not with us, like Jody Smith and Richard. We pray that you continue to get better and better and better. Thank everybody who joined us. Enjoy your tea and power bar. Well, thank you. Thank you, Sandra. And then I got to do the dishes, I got to do the chores, my part of the deal here. So we'll talk to you Saturday night at 10 p.m., Lord willing, East Coast time, for the next edition of Worldwide Ramblings on my 29th birthday, which is really my 69th birthday Friday. I will pop on in the evening for just a little bit to say hello and show you if we found the pineapple filling for the birthday cake later today now. Big God bless you. Good night, everybody.